Look, this is Kim speaking then on what day is it? Wednesday, 9th of December. So if you've got questions out there, just fire them away as I run through these markets. I'm just going to start off looking at the euro dollar. Euro dollar yesterday, just well, actually before I do that, just a reminder on news front. There's no sort of key news apart from, of course, the usual old Brexit that's sitting there in the background, not going anywhere. Maybe at some time today there's a dinner, and that dinner may make the difference of whether we see any continued talks or whether that's it for now and they agree to disagree and it's a no deal. So hopefully we'll see one way or the other this evening. But it does look like there's not even planned the time of this dinner at the moment, apparently. So we'll see what happens. That's Brexit out of the way, hopefully. And aside of that, in terms of key news, well, there isn't anything apart from the Bank of Canada's meeting later on, so we may get something from that. So let's just look at the pure technicals. Now, technicals, as they were duff yesterday in terms of, you can just see by the little down bar that was created yesterday on the euro, very little in the way of price action, very little movement, and you just sort of see it. Now, just getting a feel for these markets, to me they're still drifting south a little bit, still haven't had the weekly pivot touched. I thought it might even come down yesterday for at one stage. We've had this move through the Asian session, it's picked up through the Asian session a little bit here, but all can turn as we run into the mornings. Let's just see what happens, but at the moment we're already into R2 territory. We're back into the shoulders. It may push back up there, but at this stage, to me, I'm looking at a chart that's not particularly clear. It may be that we end up with sort of a bit more of a bearish signal coming through, and we have an opportunity to short back south. As I say, I'm still got an eye on the weekly pivot that's sitting down at 120.74, so it's something I'm looking at down there. Okay, it's just moving on from that. Let's look at the pound, and the pound then. Okay, so the pound. What's going on here on the pound daily wise? Well, it's still in this. I mean, I've put this regression channel on purely just so it just clarifies where the trend's sitting. I would have expected, with the Brexit news and whatever else, realistically I'd have expected the pound, the way it's going at the moment, to be rolling over quite severely, but it's not, and there seems that there's so much hope in this market that we could still get some sort of deal. Well, the pound's holding on there. Looking at it as you come down this 4 hourly, it does look wrecked. I mean, it broke the trend that was sitting there on the 4 hourlies, across the lows there, and it's wrecked. But it's consolidating. It's trying its best. It's almost as if it's gripping on here. Now, when you look at it from this hourly point of view, a break of that R1 sort of area would suggest that, well, that resistance where we've had supply coming in at 133.98. 134 sort of area, that sort of supply, well, maybe it's disappearing and we get more demand and it'll push through there. I'm not holding my breath on that. I'm preferably looking at a break of the trend across the lows here, so looking across the from the previous lows to the current bar. No, it's not finished yet, it's got another 5 minutes to go, but just looking to see if we get a breakdown of that sort of area, and that's where I'm looking at on the pound at the moment. It could be a very choppy day. It may be best not traded, but I may look at half positions if I go into the pound today. The dollar yen is still I'm looking at a daily picture here, and it's still stuck between well, in that range between 104.75 and 103.70 ish. It's still stuck in that range. It's not really helping too much. It's been an odd one for quite long periods here, and it's not changing for us today. It's just when you look at how close these candles are together, and the slight push up through into yesterday, and well, it's pushed up overnight, slightly softened a little again. As I say, it's the softest of all the markets out there at the moment, of the currencies. It's soft, but it's barely moved anything. It's just that the others have barely moved something as well, but slightly more. And by default, it's gone a bit soft. So looking soft at the moment on the dollar yen. Aussie dollar, now this has made a bit of a recovery Again, it's continued. The daily moves are pretty strong. It's one of the commodity currencies that's just continue to push and push really. They do have some quite wide corrections at times, but it's again, as I say, pushing up there regardless of the sort of news that is hitting with China cutting back on taking supplies, etc. It's not really, it's just brushing it all off in its as it goes past. Now it has double topped up here and on the 60-minute chart, looking across into Monday's price action there, double topped. Maybe we'll see a bigger correction. It's extreming a little bit on the RSI here. That may just mean that if it does pull back, we'll just see another push up. Maybe not as high, but either side it can be pushing up. Okay, that's the Aussie dollar. Canadian dollar I don't day trade very much, but I do look at every morning, and sometimes it gives you opportunities for a bit of a swing. Looking at it, it's just consolidated. I mean, with this daily chart, we've had 1-2 days where it's barely gone nowhere, and there we are. It's just in that tight old range there, maybe. And you would expect with a move to the downside consolidation, you expect further downside, but it's got a range and it may trade in that range for longer. And the Canadian dollar is that's why I don't day trade it, because it spends so much time. This is a 60-minute chart and you just sort of see how much it just chops from side to side, so not looking to do anything with that at the moment. New Zealand dollar, I'm just having a quick look here on the 60-minute. It has also pushed up there in a swing on the Aussie New Zealand dollar, but it's not going anywhere at the moment, which is probably a good thing. It's not going the wrong way at least, but that's a swing short on that, but not really doing anything there. Okay, let's have a quick look through other markets here. A brief look at gold. Gold I was looking at earlier on. It sort of double diverged across the highs over the last couple of days. It's had a bit of a correction. It does to me look soft as I'm looking at it here, so there's certainly some softness kicking through. Looks like it could roll back further. That's gold. Oil also another soft market here that's continued its route south. Sorry, someone asked me just as I'd finished yesterday. So really just heading south at the moment. Okay, just chopping along, running, nothing of significance there indeed. Okay, and the S&Ps, let's just have a quick look at the S&Ps. That was a good move up through the night. It's through yesterday, pushed up there. It's almost any retracement seems like a sure bet to trade back to the upside. Came short of the weekly pivot here, but managed to bounce back up there. Again, consolidating around these highs here. So lots of consolidation today in summary. Not a lot of setup showing at the moment. The pound to me is my favoured viewing. If that starts failing, well, I'll be on board on that, but at the moment it looks like it could be pushing out the top side, so a bit of patience this morning. Okay, I wish you a great day. I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now. Okay, that's the update.